What is up, everybody? Cliff Ravenscraft here, coming to you with another personal vlog update. It is Sunday, October 28th, 2018, and I happen to be sitting in a hotel room in Franklin, Tennessee. Came down here for the Tribe Conference hosted by Jeff Goins, and I almost didn't come. And the only reason why is because I had a decision to make. Do I go down to Franklin, Tennessee for the Tribe Conference this weekend, or do I go up to Columbus, Ohio for the Igniting Souls Conference this weekend? You see, the Tribe Conference is hosted by my friend, Jeff Goins. The Igniting Souls Conference is hosted by my friend, Carrie Oberbrunner. And last year, I made it a point to attend both of their conferences, and I had an incredible experience at both events. Incredible, life-changing experiences. And it had a lot to do with just the people that I connected with, the amount of inspiration and insight I had about just what I want to do moving forward in this new transition away from Podcast Answer Man to Mindset Answer Man. Those of you who have been following my journey, you know that it was just last year, September of last year, that I read the book The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. And right after reading that book, I came down here to Franklin, Tennessee, and I attended the Tribe Conference. Just a few months before that, I attended the Copywriting Academy live conference hosted by my friend, Ray Edwards, here in Franklin, Tennessee, in the same venue that the Tribe Conference is held. The Factory, Liberty Hall in the Factory in Franklin, Tennessee. And when I attended Ray's event, I'm like, wow, I've never been to an event like this, of this size, that wasn't hosted in some sort of hotel conference hall or conference room or whatever, you know, the typical setup. And I'm like, man, I really love this space. Now, I already knew at that time that my vision, my dream of the future, that I wanted to do very large stadium events that I host. So, but at that time, I was still thinking 10 to 20 years down the road. 10 to 20 years down the road, that's where I'd like to be. And I knew to be able to get to stadium events, you have to eventually start with your first live event, right? And I was already in the process. For me, the process started with small live events, not conferences, but workshops. So my idea was, well, I wonder if I could get 12 people, 14 people to come to a live event that I host that doesn't have anything to do with podcasting. And I found out the answer to that question is yes. I have successfully been able to accomplish that mission, that goal, with my next level workshops, specifically the one titled Building an Online Business. And I still host some of those. And that has been a great experience. So when I went to Ray's Copywriting Academy live event, I'm like, I like this. And when I do my first conference, I would like to host it like in this venue. I'd come down to Franklin, Tennessee 3 to 6 times a year, every single year. And this is a place I love to visit. It's a place I love to come. And quite frankly, it's even easier for people to get here to Nashville than it is to Cincinnati. It's just this is more of a hub for more airlines, a lot more direct flight opportunities to Nashville. So yeah, I think that I would love to host an event down here, and specifically in this venue that Ray had hosted his event. And when I thought that thought, this is before I read The Big Leap, but when I thought that thought, I was thinking that was 3 to 5 years down the road. So you fast forward a couple months, and then I'm attending the Tribe Conference. It was October of 2017. And at the Tribe Conference, held in Liberty Hall at the Factory, I walk in and it's set up beautifully. And the interesting thing is I see two individuals who I recognize immediately. And I had a big smile on my face as soon as I saw them. It was Matt and Lauren Brady. Now, Matt and Lauren Brady, I knew because of just how they made me feel as a speaker at my very first major paid speaking gig. And that was the Platform Conference. My great friend Michael Hyatt had just released a book that became a New York Times bestseller called Platform, Getting Noticed in a Noisy World. And he partnered with his great friend, Ken Davis, who I had never heard of at the time, but he partnered with Ken Davis, and the two of them hosted this thing called the Platform Conference. Now, Ken had tons of experience hosting conferences. If you don't know Ken Davis, he is a professional Christian comedian. He's been doing this for, 30, 40 years, something like that. He speaks to crowds of thousands, tens of thousands, and he's an incredible human being on top of that. And I'm honored to say that today he's a close personal friend. But I didn't know him when I met him at the Platform Conference. But anyway, Ken Davis has not only been a professional communicator himself, but for more than 30 years, he's been teaching people professionally how to communicate as a public speaker through something he now calls the SCORE Conference, and teaching people the SCORE method, SCORRE. It's an acronym for how he teaches people how to communicate. And anyway, the whole deal is that he's been doing these conferences for years, and his road manager, his right-hand man, the man responsible for doing practically everything related to any of his events, was Matt Brady. And his wife, Lauren. And so when it came time for the Platform Conference, Matt and Lauren Brady were responsible for all of the details for pulling off the very first ever Platform Conference. And you would have never guessed this was Michael Hyatt's first conference that he hosted. It was incredible. But as a speaker, I not only got to see how the attendees responded to that very first conference, but for me, as a speaker, I got to know how I felt as a speaker and how welcomed and how every detail was covered. And I'm just like, this is incredible. And then I had the great gift and blessing to speak at every subsequent Platform Conference that Michael and Ken hosted beyond that. And there were several of them. So I had that great honor. But not only that, but after my very first experience at Platform, Ken and Michael offered me the opportunity to go to the SCORE Conference, to take my speaking to the next level. Both of them recognized that this was the trajectory of my life, that I would be doing more professional communication from the stage. And they believed that what I could learn at the SCORE Conference would really help me take my life, my business, my message to a whole new level. And so I gratefully accepted their very generous offer for me to attend that event. And it radically changed my life. Now, of course, I've seen Matt and Lauren Brady there. They're the ones who are putting that conference together. And this is even a bigger it's like, what? This is incredible. And I see just the consistent level of quality from event to event to event that Matt and Lauren Brady are a part of. And of course, I was offered the opportunity to go to the first SCORE Conference for free. I've since gone back to the SCORE Conference 2 more times, actually, and also an additional 1-day intensive event, and I paid for them. That's how awesome the SCORE Conference is, and my communication in the realm of public speaking has, well, it's going pretty well. So, okay, I set all of that up to say this. And by the way, before I move on, I will tell you I've been to a lot of conferences, and a lot of conferences hosted by my friends, and a lot of conferences hosted by people I have no idea who they are. But I've been to a lot of conferences, and I can tell you there are a lot of conferences that just don't hold a candle to anything I experienced at any of the Platform Conferences, any of the SCORE Conferences. The only other event that holds a candle to anything that I've participated in that was organized by Matt and Lauren Brady would be Social Media Marketing World. What Michael Stelzner and his team does with Social Media Marketing World, it has the same level of care and attention to every minute detail that I experienced at Platform Conference. The only thing is, though, the team that pulls off a Social Media Marketing World, it's massive. Now, of course, it has to be because quite frankly, they're reaching thousands of people for their events. But even the very first one where it was 1,000 attendees, it was still a significant team of people who pulled off that event. Whereas I've seen a SCORE conference that's close to the size of the very first social media marketing world, and it was just as high quality, just as awesome, and well, it was put together by Matt and Lauren Brady. Now, Matt and Lauren Brady aren't the people who did everything. They were the people responsible for hiring everyone. You see, here's what so I say all of that to set the foundation for this. I walk into the factory in October of last year. Remember, my mindset is that one of the reasons I came to Jeff's conference was because, well, I'm like, I'd like to be in this space. If I'm going to host an event here one day, it makes sense for me to go to more events and see how different events look and feel in the same space and get some ideas, right? And again, my thinking is 3 to 5 years down the road. So I walk in and I see Matt and Lauren Brady. And I was like, what are you guys doing here? And they said, well, we're putting on this event. And I'm like, wait a second, you work for Ken Davis? And they said, we do, and we still do. The thing is, though, Ken's starting to slowly wind down. He's not retired yet, but, he knows that that's not too far off. And as a result of that, he's wanting to travel less and less, and he's doing less gigs, which means that there are less events for them to plan. And they had talked with Ken, and one of the things that they decided to do is create their own event production company. It's like that's their area of genius. This is what they do. This is what they're best at, and they love doing it. And so they told me, they say, listen, we've been doing live events now for Michael Hyatt, his other live events that he started after Platform Conference. He's got the Best Year Ever and all those other events that Michael Hyatt's doing. But there are other events that they told me that they were responsible for, and I'm like, I had no idea. And they're like, yeah, and so we're doing Jeff's event here for Tribe. We did the event planning for everything. And I'm like, well, tell me what you mean when you said you did everything. And they said, well, they told me all the details. And it's like, and how much did Jeff have to do? Well, we met with Jeff, but we pretty much took anything that Jeff wanted and we executed it. And I'm like, really? It's like, so if I wanted to hire you, would I have to make sure that the tables are ordered? No, it's like, Cliff, if you were to do an event and hire us, we take care of we will hire the audio technical crew that will bring in the lighting, and they will bring in the audio. If you want video production, recordings, we'll hire the video production crew. We will make sure that we do the seating design of the room. I will personally come up with a couple different ideas for table, what do you call those, table placements or whatever, and you can approve that. Signage, I will take care of all the signage. I will take care of all the graphic arts. Well, the little video clip that introduces each speaker, we take care of that. We negotiate the rates with the venue. If you want us to negotiate contracts with your speakers, we'll take care of that. We'll take care of anything related to speakers for you. Literally, the only thing you need to do is market the event and come and speak. That's it. We handle everything else. And I asked them what their fee was, and they told me, and I'm like, that's reasonable. And I said, but you take care of hiring all these other people. Like, yeah, catering, coffee, all that stuff. I even have a team of people that I hire on contract basis to come and serve your attendees. You don't need to worry about anything. And I'm like, wait a second. And I'm like, how much? So I asked, I said, hey, this Tribe Conference, this looks amazing. If I were to try to accomplish what's going on here as my first event, how much would that cost me? Budget, total, everything out of pocket. Like, just throw it on me. And I learned it was $50,000 to $70,000. And I'm like, okay. And that it's like, I wouldn't have to do anything other than work with my speakers and put my talks together. And I get, so during the event, I literally am not focused on, hey, Cliff, this isn't working. What do we do? Hey, Cliff, did you notice that this isn't, I don't have to worry about any of that. No, if you hire us for your event, you will be able to stay 100% focused on all of your attendees. or your talks that you are giving, or no, we will everything else will be handled by us. I'm like, that sounds incredible. And so I scheduled an appointment with them the very next week. And well, as you guys know, the rest of the story is that I hosted my very first ever Free the Dream conference in September the next year, or this year actually, 2018. So yeah, it was coming to the Tribe conference last year and meeting Matt and Lauren Brady that I'm like, this is incredible. And so, and of course, the whole purpose of me coming to the Tribe conference, one of it was to scout out and see what another conference looked like in Liberty Hall. But for me, it was also connecting and meeting with people who are dreaming dreams of a better future. I'm all about helping people free their dream. I want to be known as the mindset answer man. And so the best way for me to do that is to go and have face-to-face, one-on-one conversations with people and just ask them some questions and help people to help set people free from limiting beliefs. That's the way that I'll just communicate it here. I could go into greater detail on that, but that's what I did last year. I had lots of wonderful conversations. And as a result of that, I wasn't trying to sell anybody anything. I didn't even have an event to tell them about at the time, except for the fact I said, hey guys, I think I'm gonna host an event. And about 15, 20 people who I met at Tribe Conference last year attended Free the Dream. And then I went to Carrie's Igniting Souls conference, and I had those kind of conversations with about 10 or 15 people there. And I had the ability to have a powerful impact in their lives in the way that they think and what they believe. And as a result of changing their beliefs, that led to them taking different actions over the course of several months, and sustained, consistent different actions in life will get you different results in life. And they're like, oh my gosh, if you could have that amount of impact in my life, Cliff, in 15 minutes or 1 hour, I wonder what it would be like to be a part of your conference for 2.5 days. And I'm like, well, let's find out. Come on out. And so it was such a blessing to be a part of those two events. And so when I knew that these events were coming up again this year, that both of my friends were going to host them again, I'm like, I want to attend both. Until I learned that they were both on the same exact days, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and 26, 27, 28, same exact days, same weekend. I'm like, And so because they were on the same day, I'm like, do I go to Carrie's or do I? And it's like, I know some of the speakers at the Columbus event. I know some of the speakers at the Franklin event. And I know many of the attendees that are going to Columbus, many of the attendees. It's like, which one do I go to? Where will I have the greatest impact? And when I think about where I'm going next, what I need, what my priorities are, where I feel called to invest my time, what is going to have the greatest return on getting me to the next place God wants me to go in my business. And quite frankly, it was a very difficult decision. And then it got to the place where it's like, hey, I've been working ever since Free the Dream. I have been working laser focused on several projects and priorities. And quite frankly, there's been a lot to do. And I've been doing a lot. And I've not had as much time to do some of the things I really love to do, which is to create as much content as I want. My dream life is where all of my financial needs are I'm so wealthy that I wouldn't even never need to work again. That will maybe happen one day. In fact, I expect it to happen one day. But I will still work. But some of the work that I will do is I would love to just create content every single day, this vlog every single day. But the thing is that hadn't happened. So I literally right up until Monday of this week, I had emails that were way past due on responding to because of the projects that I was working on. But Monday was the first day that I got down to only 12 emails in my inbox. And it's like Monday, I'm going to hit inbox 0 for the first time since Free the Dream, which anybody that knows me knows that, me and inbox 0 were really close friends, but I haven't seen inbox 0 since before Free the Dream. So it was Monday of this week that I'm like, hey, I could hit inbox zero by the end of the day. And then I've got meetings scheduled for Tuesday. I have my mastermind calls Wednesday, and then Thursday and Friday every week completely wide open. I don't schedule anything on Thursdays and Fridays. So I have all day Thursday and Friday to do this project. And this project that it is major. I'm not telling you what it is. It's intentional. Actually, I think I've already told you what it is. It's my first big, huge online course product inside of Kajabi. Like the very first one that's officially a course inside of Kajabi. And because when I purchased Kajabi, my online course software, I thought for sure it would be a self-study version of podcasting A to Z. But you guys know that I never created that, and that's intentional, and may never do it. Matter of fact, I don't know. Never say never. But anyway, the thing is though, is my first product is in Kajabi. And for the first time in my business ever, I will have an official, like what they call a sales funnel, where I have an opt-in to get something for free, which I talked about in the most previous vlog to this, that I'm going to give away my first session of the Free the Dream conference, the recording to that, for free. It is the best piece of content I've ever published in my life. It is it's the highest production value, quality of video, audio, lighting, set, design, everything, all of that. It is the best performance of me communicating publicly that I've ever done in my life. And more important than any of that, it is the most influential, most impactful, most insightful, most motivating, and actionable piece of content that I've ever created and spoken and delivered in my life. This one talk by itself will have the power to transform people's lives, completely changing the trajectory of their life from the moment they consume that entire talk. From that point forward, life will change. It's that kind of, it's like, wow. And that was the first talk I gave. That was my opening keynote to Free the Dream. And I'm gonna give it away for free. Now, the thing is I was supposed to work this Thursday and Friday to create that. I talked about that in the last vlog. It's gonna happen next week. By the way, if you want the free session, I've gotten so many emails. It's like, oh my gosh, let's just say it this way. I no longer have only 12 emails in my inbox. But if you want this free session when it's available, email me, Cliff. If you've already emailed me, I have your email. It's in my inbox. I know I haven't replied to you yet. I've been here at the Tribe Conference hanging out with people. If you've already emailed me, I already have it. But if you haven't emailed me yet, email me, cliff@cliffravenscraft.com. This subject line should say free session. And just write one or two sentences. Tell me, why would you want that free session? What is it that I said that intrigued you? And if you could change your actions or results in life, what would you change? What do you want help changing? Put that in your email. Send it to me. Free session is the subject line, cliff@cliffravenscraft.com. And when I get back next week, now I get back tonight, and tomorrow I'll be working on email stuff. Tuesdays I have meetings scheduled. Wednesdays I have my mastermind group. And so I won't be working on this free session and the deliverability and all the other stuff until Thursday and Friday of next week. So expect it next weekend that you'll actually get that free session, but it will be coming. So if you email me. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, so the thing is I was thinking, do I come down to Franklin, Tennessee for this, or do I go to Columbus? Or do I, and this is why I almost didn't come, do I stay here at the house and work on making this available so that people's lives can start changing? But at the same time, it's like, well, I want to go to one of these events because I know that these face-to-face interactions, I love what we're doing here. Trust me, I do. I love right here the fact that you are watching me in this video, hearing my voice, and the fact that I have this conversation with, it's awesome. And the thing is you get to look into my eyes. You get to see the look on my face. You get to see the passion and to feel what I'm sharing with you through this piece of content. But you want to know what? I'm looking into a glass lens. I'm not looking into the lenses of your eyes. And don't get me wrong, this is powerful. And I'm so incredibly thankful to God for the opportunity that this technology allows me to do what I'm doing right here. And I hope that I will never take it for granted. And so I want to continue to do this. But when given the opportunity to do this right here, or an opportunity to look into two glass eyeballs and to see the expressions on people's faces as I'm having a conversation with people one-on-one, or a group of people in a setting where I'm on stage and I can see the eyes of my audience and the looks on their faces as I see them taking in what it is that I'm sharing. It is an incredible experience that can't be duplicated here. This is one way in so many ways. I mean, I know you can leave me comments. I know you can send me personal emails, and I appreciate those so much. But it's nothing like the instant knowing of what's going through your mind as a result of what I just said, what words I just spoke, or as I'm speaking, seeing the change in the expression of your face. It's like, wow. That is awesome. So I'm like, I know I want some of that. I want some of that. And I'm not speaking at Tribe. I'm not speaking at Igniting Souls, but I want to go for the opportunity to engage with people one-on-one. And I don't even have a plan of who those people are. It's like, I just trust that I will be at the right place at the right time with the right person doing and saying the right thing. That's why I wanted to come to one of these events. And so I had to make a decision on Wednesday, which one do I go to? And the decision is kind of like, Cliff, it was really a no-brainer. If they're both on the same day, there's so many reasons to go to Tribe. It's in Franklin, Tennessee. You love Franklin. I love Columbus, but Franklin is like my home away from home, right? It's at the factory. You get to go and be in that space and think about, how you want to use that space differently. You're not going to be distracted by the fact that you have everyone there has come to have an opportunity to maybe engage and interact with you. So when I was at Free the Dream, it's not like I could sit there and dream up different ideas of how to use this space. But now I can. Matt and Lauren Brady, of course, so I get to hang out and see Matt and Lauren Brady. The thing is quite frankly, it was kind of cool to be able to think that it was at this event last year, coming into that event, I didn't even have an idea of Free the Dream. My first event was still 3 to 5 years out down the road, and to think that less than a year later, I hosted that event. So I came down to Tribe. That's what's going on. So yeah, I'm having a great time. It's Sunday, it's 8:55 in the morning, and I am all packed up. My clothes are in the car, all of my toiletries, everything's in the car. The only thing that's left here in this hotel room, this camera, my laptop, and my gear bag. And as soon as I finish wrapping up, which this has gone way longer than I anticipated, as soon as I finish this up, I'm going to take this, edit it, which basically just means lopping off the beginning when I make a bunch of funny faces where I'm doing my thumbnail stuff. And then I'm going to process it using Final Cut Pro so that it's a much smaller file so that it can upload to YouTube very fast. And then once it's uploaded and I hit publish and all that stuff, then I'm going to pack all these things up and I'm heading back over for the final day of the Tribe Conference. And I have no idea whose lives I'll have the opportunity to speak into this day. And I just looking forward to the opportunity of whoever those people are. I will see if some people come up and introduce themselves to me, and if not, I'll just go out of my comfort zone and introduce myself to some people that I've never seen before, and see if I can learn a little bit about who they are, what their dreams are, and just take it from there. Anyway, that's what I'm up to, my friends. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, I encourage you to take every area of your life to the next level.